Yeah, Rebecca, the body of Matt Brown was found in a river in Washington state earlier this weekend, and I spoke with 3 of his siblings earlier today.
For over a decade, the stars of Alaskan Bush People conquered the freezing wilderness. But behind the triumph lies an overwhelming history of loss that left the Brown family forever changed. Over the years, the Wolfpack has been plagued by shocking tragedies, freak accidents, and heartbreaking personal battles that ultimately claimed their brightest stars.
Breathe.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
Guys, clear this area.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Don't crowd around.
We just need a minute.
So, who are the beloved Alaskan cast members gone too soon? Join us as we uncover the gut-wrenching stories behind these icons. Billy Brown. Billy Brown first burst onto the scene as the proud family patriarch of the Alaskan Bush People over a decade ago and remained the ultimate mainstay of the series until his death in 2021. On the reality show, he acted as the deeply dedicated leader of the Wolfpack, capturing the hearts of viewers with his lifelong dream of building a completely independent off-grid life in the wild for his family. Tragically, he passed away at the age of 68 after suffering a sudden seizure. Following his passing, his son Bear broke the news on social media, describing his father as their best friend and a wonderfully loving dad, granddad, and husband who would be dearly missed by everyone. To honor his enduring legacy, the Brown family later went on to pay a moving tribute to their father in a special season 13 episode titled One Last Dance, Da. But as the family copes with these crushing losses, all eyes have turned to the woman who has held them together from the very beginning. Through devastating grief, major health scares, and a surprising new romance, how is the family matriarch moving forward today? Keep watching to find out. Ami Brown. While audiences first met Ami Brown as the dedicated mother of 7 in Alaskan Bush People, the family matriarch has seen her household grow significantly over the years and is now also a proud grandmother to at least 10 grandkids. Since the reality show reached its conclusion, she has stayed connected with her dedicated fan base through social media. The former reality star regularly posts snippets from her day-to-day life on Instagram, sharing everything from scenic wilderness views to heartwarming photos with her children. Her journey has also been marked by major health battles that she has openly shared with the public. After revealing her diagnosis with lung cancer back in 2017, Ami brought relief to her followers a year later by disclosing that her cancer was officially in remission. However, her medical struggles continued after Alaskan Bush People ended. Ami faced multiple hospitalizations for various medical emergencies, including a serious health scare in February 2025. Fortunately, she has since updated her followers with reassuring photos and videos that seemingly indicate she is doing well and recovering. In addition to her health updates, Ami has given fans a peek into her romantic life as she embraces a new chapter. She officially hard-launched her relationship with her partner, DJ, in January 2026, even lovingly referring to her new beau as her husband. Through all the health trials and personal milestones, she continues to show resilience as she moves forward with her family and her new partner by her side. Matt Brown. Although Alaskan Bush People concluded with its 14th season in 2022, the Brown family's eldest son, Matt, had already left the show behind by 2019. The former reality star was remarkably open about his long-standing struggles with addiction, having entered rehab to seek treatment twice, once in 2016 and again in 2018. However, his personal battles extended far beyond substance abuse. In 2020, Matt became the subject of heavy controversy when 2 women came forward in an interview with The Sun, accusing him of sexual assault stemming from 2 separate incidents that allegedly occurred back in 2018. The Discovery Channel found the allegations deeply disturbing and serious enough to cooperate fully with law enforcement, though the Los Angeles District Attorney ultimately declined to prosecute the case. Following these heavy allegations, Matt focused his energy on his YouTube channel, sharing videos of his travels and everyday life with his viewers. Tragically, his journey came to a sudden end in May 2026, when Bear announced that Matt had been found dead in a river. Reflecting on his passing, his brother Bam Bam acknowledged Matt's complex life on social media, noting his intense battles with mental health and addiction, while emphasizing that no one should be defined solely by their lowest moments or past mistakes. Joshua Bam Bam Brown. Shifting the focus to the next sibling, Joshua Bam Bam Brown chose to graduate from reality television to pursue a completely different career path in digital media. The second eldest of the Brown children has been successfully hosting his own podcast, Brown Overboard, since 2025, where he frequently brings on members of his own family for interviews. Beyond his ongoing work in the podcasting space, Bam Bam has also expanded his professional horizons into acting and voice acting. His personal life also drew significant interest during his time on the show when it was revealed that he had entered into a long-term relationship with Allison Kagan, who actually worked as one of the producers for Alaskan Bush People. The couple appeared to still be going strong as of 2020. Through these new creative outlets and enduring partnerships, he has managed to carve out a distinct identity outside of the wilderness reality show that first made him famous. But he isn't the only sibling navigating massive changes away from the cameras. His younger brother, Gabe Brown, has recently faced an incredibly rocky road, dealing with legal trouble, a high-profile divorce, and the challenges of raising 3 young boys. Stick around to find out how he is handling this heavy new chapter. Gabe Brown. Moving on to Billy and Amy's third son, Gabe Brown has experienced massive shifts in his own life, transitioning into a busy father of 3 young boys. He welcomed his sons, River, Cove, and Everest, with his former wife, Raven Adams. The couple originally tied the knot in January 2022, but their relationship faced immediate public scrutiny just 2 months later when the Discovery Channel star was arrested in connection with a domestic violence situation involving Raven. He reportedly entered a plea deal a month later to resolve the legal matter, though the specific conditions and status of that deal have not been officially confirmed. Despite trying to make things work, Bear and Raven ultimately announced their official separation on social media in April 2025. They shared with their followers that the split was something they had been discussing for a while, mutually deciding it was the best path forward for themselves and their young children. Today, the former couple remains good friends as they focus on co-parenting their 3 sons. Bear now frequently uses his social media platforms to post proud updates about his kids and share insights into the rest of his family's life. Gabe Brown. Following in his brother's footsteps, Billy and Amy's 4th son, Gabe Brown, has also focused heavily on building his own family and is now a proud father. The Alaskan Bush People star tied the knot with his wife, Raquel Rose, in 2019, celebrating a special wedding ceremony where he was incredibly grateful to have his family, especially his mother, right by his side on the big day. The couple quickly expanded their family, welcoming their first child, a daughter named Sophie, later that same year. They eventually welcomed a second baby girl, further growing their tight-knit household. The family growth continued into the next generation when, in October 2025, Gabe's brother Bear took to social media to announce that Gabe and Raquel had officially welcomed their first son, named Buck. Today, Gabe continues to navigate life after reality television by focusing on his role as a dedicated husband and a father to his growing group of children. But the changes for the Brown brothers don't stop there. The youngest of the boys, Noah Brown, is also starting fresh after a surprising marital split. Noah Brown. Widely known for being the youngest of the Brown brothers, Noah Brown is now managing his own young ones as a father of two. The Alaskan Bush People star welcomed two sons, Elijah and Adam, with his ex-wife, Rain Alicia, before their relationship took a turn. The pair officially announced their separation in a joint TikTok post after around 6 years of marriage. They shared the news directly with their fans to explain that they had decided it was in their best interests to separate, take a break for a while, and go their separate ways. Since the split, the youngest Brown brother has kept a steady presence online, regularly posting updates from his life on his TikTok page. His videos frequently feature heartwarming moments with his sons, as well as quality time spent with their grandmother, Amy. Moving forward into a new chapter, Noah gave his followers an exciting update in January 2026 by posting a video about his new girlfriend, though he chose to keep her identity private by not sharing her name. Through it all, he remains focused on co-parenting and stepping into the future. Snowbird Brown. Turning the page to the daughters of the Wolfpack, Billy and Amy's first daughter, Snowbird Brown, now spends most of her time dedicated to her farm, following the conclusion of Alaskan Bush People. The former reality star has fully embraced this peaceful lifestyle, frequently posting updates about her day-to-day farm routines and agricultural projects on her social media accounts. Beyond her hands-on work with the land, Snowbird channeled her creativity into an entrepreneurial venture by running an Etsy shop called Snowbird Crafts, where she curated and sold antique accessories and unique home items to her fans. In addition to her daily routines, Snowbird has been open about her personal health journey after enduring a major cancer scare in 2022. The final season of the reality series heavily documented the frightening discovery of tumors in her abdomen and her subsequent surgery to have them successfully removed. Fortunately, she has kept her followers updated and reassured. In a May 2026 Instagram video, the Discovery Channel alum shared the excellent news that the tumors had not returned, emphasizing that she is staying diligent with regular medical tests to make sure her health remains completely on track. But while Snowbird is successfully finding peace and healing on her farm, her younger sister's path has been anything but smooth. From a whirlwind wedding to a shocking felony arrest, the baby of the family has suddenly found herself at the center of an intense, real-life drama. Keep watching to find out what happened to Rain. Rain Brown. As the youngest member of the Brown family, Rain Brown was just an 11-year-old child when Alaskan Bush People first hit television screens back in 2014. Growing up in front of the cameras, viewers watched her transform from the baby of the Wolfpack into an independent adult. Since the reality show reached its conclusion, Rain has completely shifted her focus toward building her own independent life, marrying her partner, Josiah Lorton. She first publicly announced their relationship on social media toward the end of 2023, before joyfully confirming to her followers that the two had officially wed a little over a year after. However, her new life soon faced intense public scrutiny. Just a few months after celebrating their marriage, Rain and her husband were arrested in Washington on serious felony charges, including first-degree burglary and first-degree malicious mischief, alongside a criminal trespass charge for Rain. She immediately took to social media to firmly deny the accusations, labeling the entire event as complete lies and asking her loyal fans to remain patient until she could fully share her side of the story. Both Rain and Josiah maintained their innocence by pleading not guilty, and while the official status of their legal case remains unconfirmed, the couple has since moved forward to look toward a brighter future. Proving that a new chapter is fully underway, the family recently shared the exciting news that Rain and Josiah are currently expecting their very first child together, a baby girl that they plan to name Amethyst Grace. But while the next generation of the Wolfpack prepares to make its debut, the television empire that made the family famous has completely ground to a halt. Behind the tough wilderness life broadcast to millions, a massive financial war and a bruising lawsuit have quietly brought a definitive end to the reality series. Stick around to find out what went down behind the scenes. The real reason Alaskan Bush People was suddenly canceled.
Push-ups, really? Verify. Not a bad idea, actually.
I think it depends a lot on the girl that they're trying to find. But I like Thurman.
Behind the tough wilderness life we saw on TV, the reality series Alaskan Bush People ended because of big legal battles and deep family drama. The hit Discovery Channel show used to bring in over 1 million viewers during its run from 2014 to 2022. However, the cameras stopped rolling after 14 seasons. This final stop happened because of a huge $500,000 lawsuit involving late star Billy Brown's estate, his business partner, and the TV network itself. The legal trouble started in April 2021, just 2 months after Billy died from a seizure. His former business partner, Robert Morgan, sued Billy's estate and his company, Alaskan Wilderness Family Productions, for breaking a contract. Since Billy's wife, Amy Brown, runs the estate, she became the main target in the lawsuit. Court papers from April 2024 showed that the show officially ended for good after the 14th season wrapped up filming in 2022. The lawsuit points out that these problems happened even though the show made massive profits on the Discovery Channel. Today, the show is no longer listed as a main property on the network's media page next to active shows like Naked and Afraid or Gold Rush. Discovery has not posted a single update about the series since September 2022. Representatives for both Discovery and Amy Brown did not respond to requests for comment regarding the situation, leaving fans to look at the public court records to understand why the show suddenly vanished from the network's production schedule. This major fight comes down to old business deals from over a decade ago, long before the family became famous television stars. Robert claims he made a 10-year contract with Billy on January 6, 2009, and invested $20,000 into the family's early business ventures. Since Billy was a book writer, Robert was supposed to get 10% of the money made from those publications and sales under the company name. Robert claims Billy never paid him that money, leaving a long trail of unpaid earnings that stretched through the entire life of the television show. Robert also claims they made a second lifetime contract on January 25, 2009, where he invested another $10,000. This deal was supposed to give Robert 10% of the total gross income from all of Billy's creative work, including books, movies, television programs, and documentaries. Robert says he cannot know the exact amount owed without looking at the official financial records, but he believes Billy made around $500,000 per episode for the reality show, which means the missing payments could add up to a massive amount of money over 14 seasons. By January 2025, the lawsuit pulled Discovery Networks directly into the mess. Robert stated in his trial papers that he plans to force a network representative to come to court to talk about the show's exact earnings and payments. He intends to use a trial subpoena to bring corporate officials to the stand so they can provide official testimony regarding the financial deals made with Billy and his production company. Amy tried to get the case thrown out in February 2025 by filing a motion to dismiss the claims against her. She argued that the contracts were signed in Alaska, where a wife is not responsible for her husband's separate debts. Her lawyers stated that simply being married to Billy did not mean she owed the money and there were no facts proving this was a joint marital obligation. The court set a meeting for late April to see if they could settle the $500,000 dispute out of court before a full trial begins. On top of the court battles, severe fighting among the children made it very hard to keep filming the show. In August 2024, Noah Brown and his wife, Rain, tried to get a restraining order against his younger sister, Rain, for harassment. The court denied the order, saying there was no legal basis for it, but the paperwork exposed a lot of behind-the-scenes drama. Noah claimed that during their last time filming together on July 19, 2022, they got into an elevator and Rain threatened his life, mentioning a gun in her room. This event showed how badly the family bonds had broken down behind the scenes while the cameras were trying to capture their off-grid life. Not long after this stressful event, Noah announced in February 2025 that he and his wife Rain were splitting up for good. Even though Discovery and Ami have stayed quiet about these issues, the family keeps moving forward on their own separate paths. They are still very active on social media, using their pages to share daily updates and photos directly with the fans who followed them for years. They continue to talk to their audience online, proving that life goes on even after the television contracts, and the cameras are completely gone. This complicated mix of legal trouble and personal arguments shows that life behind the scenes was very different from what people saw on television. The $500,000 lawsuit stands as a major reason why the show could not continue, as the network did not want to remain tangled in old business agreements. Between the financial pressure from past partners and the growing anger between the siblings, the off-grid dream simply became too difficult to maintain under the public eye. The shift away from the television network is clear, as the family now controls their own stories through their personal channels instead of commercial broadcasts. While the legal system works through the contracts signed in 2009, the family members are busy establishing their own independent lives away from the old Washington ranch. The final settlement conferences will determine the financial future of Billy's estate, but the legacy of the show remains fixed in the past tense for the network and the public. Ultimately, the 14 seasons of the reality series captured a unique moment in time for the family, but the real-world consequences of fame and business took a heavy toll. Fans are left watching social media for any signs of peace between the siblings as they deal with the loss of their patriarch and the end of their shared television journey. The story of the Wilderness family has transitioned from a produced television hit into a very real, very human struggle with contracts, courts, and personal survival. What name on the list shocked you the most? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.